Zach, welcome back, my man. So much has been going on while you were gone. Have you been keeping track of everything that's happened?
I have been keeping track. Twitter is a very useful device, as I had special travels. Can't get into those, but I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad that a bunch went down. You know, you don't expect to be gone for a few days and have this much transpire. So we definitely have a lot to talk about here. I got a lot of hot takes I got to give.
Zach, you got to leave more often, so all this awesome stuff just keeps happening.
Is that the reason?
Yeah.
All right.
I fully think that Nintendo was waiting for you to leave for all this to happen.
I really want an August Direct after, Fire Emblem and Mua 3, so I'm going to schedule some leave of absence then, and hopefully something goes down. We're talking the new Switch controllers that Gabe discussed. We're talking the new Switch model, obviously, that's coming in August. We're talking the new Joy-Con. I know a lot of people are excited to hear my thoughts on that. We'll save that for last. I also know that Joy-Con drift, Gabe, is like becoming a major thing.
Yes, I saw the Kotaku article. You even experienced it, and you didn't know you were experiencing it.
Yeah. That was so scary. I thought, like, what is going on? And I was like, oh my gosh, I have Joy-Con drift. I'm one of them. I'm one of them. Ooh. So definitely go to Twitter, twitter.com/SwitchForce. We got a poll going on right now. We'd love to hear if you guys have experienced it, and maybe even some like specifics if you want to leave like a reply. And we'll be utilizing that for a future video. So don't worry, we are going to address Joy-Con drift. Your stories, our stories, what we think should be done. But first, Gabe, let's talk about these controllers. I'm very interested in both of these.
Yeah, they both look really, really cool. They're both coming out very, very soon. We will have links in the description where you can go pre-order them right now. One of them is way cooler to me than the others. But yeah, let's get into it.
Let's start with the PDP Faceoff Deluxe Plus. And Gamer Bros has a comment that says, I'd buy the one with the headphone jack if it was wireless. And that's exactly how I feel. Like, I love that they are trying to incorporate more voice chat. Obviously, it would be great if it was in more games, but even still, like, it's a cool concept. But you guys are right. Like, it's just replacing one long cord with another long cord. And in 2019, I just can't get into the idea of playing with, like, a 10-foot cord, which is what I'd need if I'm going to be playing this thing docked.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right about that. For me, it's more about, like, hey, a 10-foot controller cord is like more normal than a 10-foot like audio cord. I don't like
normal,
those.
but it's still cumbersome.
Sure, it is. But what I will say is, to shoot the bail for this controller, it's $25. So yes, You're not gonna get a wireless controller that has all these features with $25. That just isn't very likely to happen. I still think it's cool. If you play at your desk the way we do, Zach, a lot of times, I think this is totally fine.
Well, we're going to give it a go. We're going to give it a try. We're going to put it through some hoops and some loops and see what it turns out to be. The next one, the 8-bit dough, Gabe. Dough. Like a beautiful pretzel dough. You know what? I was in... Oh, gosh. Never mind.
You can't say that.
Okay. Well, I can say that this one has me piqued. My interest is piqued because it looks like... It's not like all the way to an Elite controller, but it's reminiscent.
Yeah, I love the fact that it looks so traditional in its color scheme. I love the fact that the grips are there. Zach, 8-bit dough has a lot of really awesome controllers that people already use. And now you have it in a more traditional form factor. You get some customization. You can even customize down to the fact that there is different rumble settings. If you want like no rumble at all, take it off. If you want the max rumble, set it to 5. It's still not quite HD rumble. They did make sure to note that. But so much customization from macros to just changing what the buttons do to the sensitivity of the sticks. There is a lot there to customize. If you're a PC player, I feel like this is a must-have. But it also works on Switch. Want to throw that out there.
Okay, like outside of all of that, which is great, it's $50.
Mm-hmm.
Which, so you're talking like premium features at not the most premium prices, which I appreciate. And Gabe, my favorite color scheme Nintendo has ever concocted is the SNES purple and gray, and that is what this is based on. So this one I'm all about, and I'm very interested to see, like, hopefully it feels good. Like, it's gotta feel the right weight and feel good. I hope the rumble is nice. I hope the triggers feel triggery. And we'll have to give those a roll.
One more thing I want to tell you about this one, since you were just talking about wires. This one, you can use both wired and wireless. It has the ability to be functional in both ways. So I think that's awesome.
Oh. Why would you want wired?
Less latency for if you're doing
okay.
like super hardcore stuff. Yeah.
Giving you all the options.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I like that. Nintendo is giving you another option in their new Switch model, which, you know, it was rumored for a while. We had talked about, like, hey, something's coming. There's an FCC filing for a retooled Switch, and it's not really as retooled as I would have thought. It basically has better battery life, and that is it. And so I want to go to you guys' thoughts on this immediately. Ryan Koch says, I don't care about better battery life. I already have a Switch. And then Chicken Future 22 follows up by saying, bruh, just get a battery bank or a charging case. If there are no other improvements, this version is a waste of my money. And I gotta say, there's no reason to buy this if you already have a Switch.
No, of course not. But I don't think it's meant for that. I don't think that Nintendo expects a large percentage of the user base to go buy another one just for a couple extra hours of battery life. I really don't think that that's the case. I think that this is just because, frankly, I don't know why, but it's happening.
I think I do. It's because they found a better way to optimize the construction of the battery in the system, and so why not offer that? Plus, it allows them to start what I believe will be a slight rebranding given the Switch Lite's introduction. And, you know, you're seeing it's going to have a new box, and it then helps to separate, oh, there's two different Switch instead of the one that people have been seeing over and over and over again. I think this probably allows them to separate their branding a little bit more, perhaps, and offer a, quote, better Switch, the most improved, you know, version, even if it's not doing anything really great. Battery life is important to a lot of people. And if you want to incentivize people to drop the extra 100 on the normal Switch, well, then now battery life, the advantage that the Lite may have had, is no longer there. It's now just strictly a smaller, lighter, more portable system.
That does make sense to have the, you know, more expensive one have the better battery life. That there is what makes perfect sense to me. Okay, question. Are you picking this new Switch that looks exactly like your current Switch up?
Heck no.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Heck no. I mean, if it was better performance in any other way besides battery, I probably would, because that matters to me. But the battery life is something that has not ever... It hasn't hit me hard. I mean, I play it a lot on plane flights, and I just charge it before, and I don't know, maybe I'm too sleepy on planes or get distracted too easily, but I've never burned it out. So to me, it's not an issue. Plus, like, you can grab like one of those like Anchor Power brick things, and you're good to go. Like, that to me is a far easier fix than having to get a whole new Switch, and it's definitely way cheaper and can help support other devices and be more beneficial as a whole.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you.
We'll put a link to our favorite one of those, by the way, if you want more battery life but do not want to have to get a Switch. Some people, though, did really like it. Akamizu1 says, this is the revision I wanted. They may not be making as much of an announcement as the Lite, but this is more like my kind of announcement. They got the Breath of the Wild playtime up close to the maximum battery life when playing simpler games of the original system. Also, with better battery life comes a cooler running CPU. All of that is good in my opinion.
I guess it depends what type of, you know, player you are. I don't sit there and play hours and hours and hours of Breath of the Wild in handheld. Like, not usually. The games that I do play in handheld, and I have been playing handheld a ton, it's just smaller stuff. So, yeah, I mean, to each his own. If he's really happy about this, then awesome. If he thinks that it's completely worth selling this Switch and going to pick up another one, re-downloading everything, transferring everything over, if he's okay with that for the extra battery life, more power to you. Why not?
I'm going to say that I think it is like single-digit percentage of like 1-2% of people that completely re-up.
Of course.
I did see some people saying like, oh, we're going to see so many like old Switches now at GameStop. And I do wonder...
Well, you might, but not because of this. It's because of Lite.
Right. And I do wonder, like, what's the... You know, is it just going to be like the little number on the back? Like, because the controller colors aren't switching, which that was what I was looking forward to. And obviously, we have more to say on that in a little bit. I'll go with one more comment here. P. Killjoy says, ugh, why couldn't the Lite have this battery life? I don't want to have to buy another standard Switch just so they can announce the Pro next year. I play 99% handheld, and I don't think anyone has really ever gotten 6 full hours off of a Switch charge. I get 2.5 to 3.5 max. Even Stardew Valley gets barely 3.5 hours. Still getting a Lite.
Huh. And that's a perspective that I don't often think from. somebody that like almost exclusively plays handheld, for them the Lite is perfect because yes, it's smaller. You're getting the improvement of battery life. It's not quite the improvement that the regular Switch is getting now, but yeah, I mean, you're never gonna get exactly the advertised battery life. By the way, like that's just not gonna happen.
Too perfect.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into that. Like, do you have your volume all the way up? Do you have your screen all the way max brightness? Or, you know, so is your Wi-Fi on? So many factors.
It's interesting to me that, like, and I don't know exactly here what P. Killjoy is planning, but it's interesting to me of, like, is he getting rid of his main Switch? Like, are there people that are going to sell their Switch to get a Lite, or will it all be, like, people adding a second one in?
I bet there are people selling the main Switch to get the Lite. I bet there are. And I would say it's probably a decent number too, because do
you think that you think you can trade that straight up at like GameStop when it comes out?
Probably, yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, maybe it drops by that point because that seems like, that's an interesting thing. Trade away, especially if you have the current Switch, right? You don't have the better battery life. You trade away the dock and you know the console ability, but you get a like sleeker, colored new system with a little bit better battery life. And if you're playing 99% handheld anyways...
Yeah, why not?
We'll have to talk about that come September. All right, Gabe, it's finally time. Oh, I think it's clear, like, just to be clear, neither of us are getting this.
The new one, no.
Yeah. The quote new one.
I'm not spending $300 more to have 2 more hours.
But here's what I will say to just get it out there so I cover my base before it happens. If they put this new version in a bundle that is cool, okay, I will have one. If they do something, and speaking of doing something, Nintendo announced 2 new Joy-Con packs.
It's so exciting. Zach had to whisper it.
Gabe, yeah. I'm a little upset here because these are the comments that I saw in the video. Okay, the dreaded Zero says maybe now Zach will shut up.
Yeah, Zach, shut up.
And someone else said, like, now Zach can shut his pie hole. Okay.
Yeah, your pie hole, close it.
But wait. A lot of people wanted Joy-Con. And the general reception was that people were stoked. Cuber Knight says, I've been wanting orange and purple ones for so long. Now, that's interesting to me because it's, like, a very random combo of colors. But, like, a lot of people are like, dude, this is the combo I wanted, purple and orange. Do those go together normally? Am I missing something?
I have no idea. I'm not a color expert.
Is purple and orange, like, a thing?
I wouldn't know, Zach.
My whole spiel on this probably I have to take some time to think this over. This was a big deal for me. I was on a plane when this happened, and I couldn't have the reaction I wanted to have due to
you could
politeness. So, I'm saving it for you all. But let's talk about the colors that they picked are interesting to me because they went back to the neon with neon purple and neon orange. Mm-hmm. Although it's harder for me to understand the neon purple. What's neon purple?
Yeah.
But it's interesting to me that they put a straight blue, a flat blue with neon yellow.
Yeah, I like that color combination. That was my high school color combination, just so you know.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, blue and yellow.
Well, Crossblood says, this is the hardest Switch-related question I've had yet. I play handheld all the time, but I do like my colors. Plus, I use the Joy-Con and the grip to play docked. Which combination? Purple and orange or blue or yellow? Blue and yellow. That's a tough one. I'm going to have to think about this.
Get both so you can have the best of both worlds. They're so expensive.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I wish they weren't so expensive.
Do you have a way that you fall here, the purple, orange, or the blue, yellow?
Purple's my favorite color. You know this.
Mm-hmm.
But blue and yellow were my high school colors. I don't really care for high school. Yeah, purple and orange. I like purple so much. Yeah.
I wish that both packs had all new Joy-Con. I will say that.
Yeah.
And that would have been nice.
It would have been. But, it's not. This is nice too, though. This is nice too.
The purple and orange is such like a weird... Like, there's so many people saying that, like, oh my god, this is the combo I've been waiting for. Really?
Yeah. I don't know why, but hey.
I think Nintendo is tackling the custom market with this pack. I think purple and orange is such a wacky combo and such, like, creative colors that they're really going after the custom market. Like, they're like, hey, we've set this game out for, like, 500 days. So, in that time, everyone's got a lot of, like, handmade custom Joy-Con, colorware and whatnot. So, let's go with a crazy one to really show that we know what's up.
I still want, like, all white ones. Yeah. That's still what I want.
I'm starting to get... I gotta.
You're itching for new Joy-Con color?
No. I gotta give my presentation on these, but we'll save that. And we'll finish with this comment from Yato Shrine that says, purple and orange look sick. I have had problems with the drift also, so I'm a bit worried about spending $80 more and getting another pair that has that issue.
I wonder if they fix that.
Well, will they address it is my question.
I mean, they'll fix your Joy-Con, so...
So, but will they come, will they at some point say, like, hey, the new ones,
eliminates Joy-Con drift? I don't think they ever say that. I don't think they ever say that.
You don't think, yeah.
No.
I
think maybe they just fix it.
Very, like, acknowledging of, like, Metroid Prime is not ready.
Yeah, no, but no. I think they do maybe put out Switch that don't have that issue anymore, but I don't think they ever talk about it.
That's fair. I think that's fair. I mean, it would be nice to know that these ones are a little bit more, the screws have been tightened a little bit more, but we'll have no way of knowing, I guess, until they hit store shelves. It's a ways away, though. That does make me a little sad. October?
Get it for
Luigi. Have a Switch Lite by that point.
Yeah, you can play Luigi's Mansion with them.
That's out on the 31st. Okay, last thing. Luigi's Mansion release date. That also got announced while I was gone.
Thursday.
It's a Thursday, man.
That's strange.
Ballsy to go with the holiday release, though.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it, though.
It's appropriate.
Stay out of... Don't eat the junk food and candy. Just sit inside and play Luigi's Mansion. You'll be happy and safe.
Okay, I'll do that.
Let's dress up as Luigi's Mansion characters and play Luigi's Mansion.
Perfect. Let's do it.
It is a perfect time to be a fan of the Switch, and hopefully it feels like a perfect time to be a fan of the channel, because we got you covered with all of this new news and our commentary on it, plus your takes, which is always more fun, and we'll continue to incorporate those. Stay tuned for that Joy-Con drift video. If you have anything to say, make sure to check out the poll. Link in the description below. You can get your story heard about your experiences with Joy-Con drift. In the meantime, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Turn on that notification bell, because YouTube isn't doing it for us. So definitely could use your help on that front. And until next time, everybody, thanks so much. Good to be back. I'll see you all next time. Until then, for myself and Gabe, who held down the fort valiantly, SwitchForce, out.